Hey, welcome back. I hope you have gotten through the weekend. It was, we always say it was a lot of worry about nothing, but it could have been a lot worse. We did get a good bit of rain, and the temperatures were such that it just didn't freeze. So we have got court starting this morning. We have really looked about it and worried about it all weekend as how that was going to look and trying to get jurors here, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of worry about nothing. So this morning we are lining up several hundred jurors to try to pick down. One will be doing a murder trial and one will be doing a drug trial. So we're going to start off the week with 2 trials this week. I won't go into them a lot today simply because if a juror were to happen to watch, we don't want to get involved in that or try to put anything in anybody's head. We do have some cases where last week we only had 2 days of court. Monday of last week, a week from today, was Martin Luther King Day, so we were closed. Then Thursday and Friday, the judges were in Savannah at the bar convention, so all we had was Tuesday and Wednesday. But we made really good use of those 2 days. We went out to the jail and either statused or had some of them to plea. And we had a team at the courthouse that were doing the same thing. So we got some trials that are set up and quite a few pleas. Here's a few of the pleas that went on last week. Honoree Davis, 49 of Georgetown. Here's something that you never see. And to see 3 of them back to back to back is kind of crazy. But Honoree Jackson is 49, Sherman Graham is 42, and Willie Long is 39. Usually we talk about young people doing a lot of the crimes. These are people pretty close to my age. But Honoree Davis, 49 of Georgetown, pled guilty last week to 2 counts of distribution of cocaine. There was a lot of arguments and a lot of stuff over our social media. Here's the truth. The second offense is for drug cases. Your first offense, you're probably not going to do any crime, even if I ask you to do a lot of time. The judges just aren't doing that. But the second ones and the third ones, there's mandatory minimums. So it's very easy to get into the second and third offense, and then if you end up going to trial on a third, you're looking at 25, 30 years. And a lot of those end up pleading because in drug cases, so many times the confidential informant is wearing a wire or having a video, or you're selling to a police officer that is wired up. So it's a very easy case to prosecute. You did it, and now it's what is the appropriate sentence. Well, for Honoree Davis, he got 10 years. They gave him 20 years, but it runs concurrent, so we're just going to call it 10 years. And he is 49 years old. He will be almost 60 when he gets out, and hopefully won't do that again because that would be a third offense, and that's a much higher mandatory minimum. Sherman Graham, 42, he's from Spartanburg. We talk all the time about people that travel 2 or 3 hours to get to Horry County to do some of this stuff. Well, Sherman was one of those. 42 out of Spartanburg. He was sentenced to 12 years for a second offense of distribution or possession with intent to distribute cocaine, another cocaine case, and he pled guilty and is going to serve 12 years. So he will be in his mid-50s when he gets out. And finally, this one, Willie Long, 39 of Myrtle Beach. He's the youngster of this group. He also got a 10-year sentence for pleading guilty, and that was under the second strike also, possession of, that looks like a first offense. That is distribution of methamphetamines, first offense, and he ended up getting 10 years for that. That was a good bit of meth. 40 grams is what they ended up hitting him with, and that was well over the amount that for possession with intent to distribute. So 3 drug cases, you see some pretty significant sentences going out on those. 2 of the 3 were not the first offense, so generally someone's going to pay more time for that. We will be back next Monday to let you know how this trial went, and there's a drug trial that starts today, so a lot of updates for next Monday.